Okay, so good afternoon sa inyo, Lance, Novi, and Jessa. Sorry for
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Sorry late kaayo. Okay, so as I have just said, I'm going to give you a short and a brief presentation of research paper as a whole. Ano yung different parts? This is general for technical, qualitative, and quantitative. No? And so I will just tsura na lang ako kayo. Okay, so what as I have just said last time, we there are three parts of a research paper, whether it's qualitative or quantitative. But then, asa na ang next ano? Okay. Wait lang ha. Kasi na ko makita ang next. Okay, so these are the reason why they need to learn how to research, how to write a research paper. So, and these are the learning targets that you're going to learn from this slideshow. So I will just send you the link through the Facebook group kasi this is online sa slide share na presentation, no, as kanina this is by Jam, no, Olazo, and this is one of my favorite presentation. So first, actually yung research as defined is actually from the old French word meaning searcher, and also a prefix re. So it means that, or defined as intensive search with the purpose of becoming certain, or technically it is a systematic investigation into reality to gain knowledge. So ano yung structure ng ating research? So ito yung main parts ng composition. Now, usually on a qualitative paper, merong introduction, body, and conclusion. So these are just the simple three parts. But technically, it would contain any of the following depending yon sa type of research or type of type of research paper or qualitative research. Now we have abstract, introduction or thesis statement, literature review, your methods, result, discussion, conclusion, and very importantly, we are going to learn the different. I know meron na kayong writing English, writing English, writing or technical paper. Na mo ang subject? Jessa, Novi, or Lance? So, yes, as I have said, and there are also some appendices. Ano ang dapat ilagay sa appendices? No? So, these are the structure of the research paper. Yung abstract is to, abstract is not for research proposal, but for research report. So, ito yung summary ng buong research report mo. So, this is to briefly introduce the reader to the aims of the study, the methods, results, and findings. So, nandun na lahat, no? Ang buod. Dapat meron siyang objectives, meron siyang methods konti, meron din siyang results, no? Pero wala siyang conclusion, no? But there are also abstract na one sentence lang, one paragraph, or 200 words. or wala mismong conclusion. When we say introduction also, technically lahat ng types of research ay merong introduction. Hindi pwedeng wala. No? This is to state clear overall purpose of the study. So you should expound why it is important to know yung study nyo, or it is important to research such study. And often framing discussion of the need of the research is satisfying. And also, you define research questions of the study. Ano yung gusto mong malaman? And to give also a brief background of the relevant theory and practice to your topic. So ano na ba yung naging studies before at ano na nga yung hindi pa na-study? No? So that with your literature review, you will know gaano na kalawak yung research that has been done. And also, you are going to make a literature review or review literature. So ito yung mga summary ng conclusion that has been reached in the research literature. So yun yung mga result ng mga previous studies. And you are just going to arrange and rewrite them creatively or technically, depending on the kind or type of research paper you're going to pursue. And whether different writers agree or not, no, it doesn't mean in one thought lang siya. So it could be contrasting thought between ideas, no? So for example, let's say in this area or in this country, let's say feasible yung ganitong project, but then some others say it is very impractical. So you should all collate those results, no? So that mas lalong ma-interesting siya. So ano kaya ang result ng study mo? Does it coincide with the other study, or yung the other one? And also to highlight the main issue and controversies around the problem, as I just have said. And next, we have methodology. So of course, you are going to describe what are you going to do, or what did you do to gather the data and everything. So to demonstrate that you are aware of the research methods used to study in this topic. So what are the standard methods that you need to use, and explain and justify the method of data collection and analysis. So iba-iba din ang research report or research study, iba-iba din ang methods. And we also have results, no? After collecting your data, you will now have your result, or you have to present your result according to analysis, specific analysis. It could just be like a simple statistics, no? Like a comparison, or kaya percentage, o kaya F-test lang siya. So it also depends, no? Or you just analyze the SWOT, no? The strength, weaknesses, and so on. And this is to present the findings of your research in orderly manner using heading. So dapat meron siyang subtitle, and plan in your methodology or headings arising from patterns found in the research. So sometimes what's in your proposal may not be exactly what will be in the result. Depende yun kasi, like if you're going to use an open-ended question, no, or exploratory research. So if you do that, it means depende yon sa na-interview mo. Depende doon sa direction. So, or might be yung result mo wala doon sa proposal, but it just came out after the study, no? And because pwedeng idagdag mo, isabay mo na yung result and discussion, pwede rin din siyang separate, no? Depende yun sa style na gusto mo, or it could also be based on the journal that you're following in. So for discussion naman, you're going to comment on the trends, findings, and show your understanding of what your data suggests. So yun nga ang result. So what is your interpretation now? No? What does it mean? and to highlight anything unexpected that came up. So let's say iba-ibang results siya, no? Iba siya sa kung ano sinabi ng literature. Yes, hello? 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 Paki-click ko sa sa Zoom link. Dili ta dali nga link ha. Sa Zoom link ta. Okay, so I was just si Zoom si kasi si John Ray. Kasi ang live hindi na siya dili na siya ma-save, maybe because it's only limited. So this time you're just going to use the Zoom link, and the recorded video will just be posted later, no, through the YouTube uploads. So ganun na lang. Si John Ray kasi baka hindi may classes si John Ray, okay lang. So as I have said, in your discussion, you're just going to interpret the result, no? And based also, you compare that if it does it coincides or support the previous studies, or which previous study or which contrasting studies that does it support. So that's the discussion. And we also have the conclusion. And after you discuss it, then you're going to sum up your findings and highlight the significances of your outcomes of your study, to discuss the limitation of your study and indicate whether further research is needed, no? So you're going, Queen, hello Queen, sa paki-click ko sa Zoom link, dili dire. Okay? Sige, bye. Okay, so again, this is to sum up your findings and also discuss the limitations of your study, indicate whether further research is needed. Like for example, there's something missing, and for example, you're not still convinced with the result because something might be questionable, no? Okay, sige lang but just the recorded video of this. And lastly, for your references, you are going to list alphabetically. So first, letter A, from letter A to letter Z, dapat yung references. At saka there, as I just have said, meron tayong format on how to write your references. So we will be discussing anyway each of this one by one, no? So at everything or all authors or references that you have cited in the text must be on your list of references at the back or in the vice versa, no? Hindi pwedeng nandun sa list of references mo pero hindi mo pala binanggit doon sa loob ng text mo. So that's vice versa. And what are appendices, no? These are relevant details such as yung letters to participants in organization. So lahat naka-appendix yan, naka-attach, lahat ng ginamit mo to your research to show that those different instruments that you use, and to present details of questionnaires, surveys, and other relevant instruments that you develop for the purpose of the study, and to present relevant documents also like reports, policy, or historical documents na hindi na kailangan idagdag mo pa doon sa loob ng iyong discussion, but still it is really also relevant, no, to be seen or to show, kaya ilagay mo na lang sa appendices. Okay, so yun yung mga structure ng ating research paper, but we are going to discuss them one by one on the tips on how to write the tips on how to write them, no? Like for abstract, no, since this is the summary of a body of information and expresses the main claim and argument of the paper, kailangan you should answer the following questions. Why did you do this study or project? So, what did you do and how? So, ito yung methods, ito yung objectives mo. And what did you find out? This is the result. And what do your findings mean? So, it's somewhat like, it's not really conclusion, pero ano ang, this is the result. So, ano yung discussion mo? No? So, yung ganon. So, this should be your abstract. And although you're not going to do the abstract for now, but when you do your thesis writing, you will practice this at that time, no? And also for your reportings naman, you are going to report a sample abstract, no? So how are you going to write your introduction? No? The primary purpose of an introduction is to frame the paper for its readers para maintindihan ng readers bakit gaano ka-importante at anong gagawin. So, you should provide the brief description of the topic. So, anong background? Ano ba yung agribusiness, for example, and state as to why the topic is worth researching. So, is agribusiness important? Of course, and why it could be found interesting. No? So you give the benefits and the role and the importance mismo ng agribusiness. And statement of the research objectives. You have to state your specific objectives in your introduction. And statement of the methods and the scope of the study. Like a little of although this is not a methodology as a whole, but you just state a little of the scope of the study and an overview of the rest of the paper. So later part, you will say that this paper will give you an insight of, for example, ano meron sa review of literature, on the background of agribusiness, and then the results. So in the result or in the conclusion, you will find out what would be the let's say the potential of agribusiness in agriculture industry or on the economic income of the farmers. So for your literature review naman, it should be present state of knowledge regarding the topic under consideration. For example, if you're going to study agribusiness, so you should write everything about agribusiness. What are the definition? What are the uses? What are the scope of its study, and so on? And what are the studies related to the one being proposed? So if that's why sometimes it's called review of related literature kasi kahit hindi siya mainly the topic itself, but if it is connected, no? Like for example, you say adlay as alternative to rice. So you're going to talk about the potential of adlay as a rice substitute. Then you could also put some title or a topic under review of literature na about rice production. So in relation or the rice qualities compared to adlay. So that is also very important. And what's the main thing about literature review is you just don't put everything there without organizing them. So they should be organized by topic. So there will be a subtitle under literature review and what are those under this subtopic. And then this should be arranged, no, chronologically and by importance. So of course, first and foremost, you are going to talk about the botanical classification of adlay, the characteristic, for example. And before you go to some more relevant topics. So also, what is the quality of the studies review? So you can comment itself, no, by presenting, let's say you said that based on literature, the studies conducting on the potential of badlay as a rice substitute is very limited. Pwedeng ganon, no? Kasi nga, wala masyadong references. So although yung literature review mo should be comprehensive as possible, there are also times that if you are the one who's going to research that for the first time, like when we say you are going to research about the COVID virus, so you don't have much more literature of that because it just happened now and it just came in this generation. Although we have previous pandemics, but it's not exactly the same as the COVID itself. So you cannot find any other references with that. So in your literature review, you can have related studies, but not exactly COVID. And also, it is a must that you must have a very comprehensive na references or mga citations of authors. But then in the case again of what I just said, na if it is a new study, then you cannot find really a very comprehensive literature. Therefore, that is understandable. No? But if your topic is widely studied and it's just something that you want to bring up to update the general knowledge, so kailangan you should have more than 10 or 20 or there could even be 100 na mga references for that. So dapat i-collate mo yan lahat as much as possible. And how will the proposed study contribute to the existing literature? So for example, kapag alam mo na it's well studied, bakit mag-study ka ba? So anong contribution mo there? Kung anong maitagdag mo doon? For example, masyado nang matagal ang mga studies. So if you're going to research again for recent addition, so that could also add an updated result. Like for example, let's say land use. Let's say the statistics of crop production and animal production. Hindi pwedeng outdated or 5 years ago yan. Dapat yearly ina-update yan. No? That is also another source of research. And your methodology to demonstrate that you are aware of the research methods used to study this topic. So alam mo kung paano mag-research, and justify the research method and approach you have taken for your study. So bakit yan ang gagamitin mo, in order to, and why, and also you can also cite kung sinong author ang gumamit niyan, for the first time, or it could be like your reference mo for this method is an author, but with modification, for example. And to explain, justify the method of data collection and analysis, Bakit open-ended question yung gagamitin mo at bakit ganitong analysis ang kailangan mo. And your conclusion. So after the results and bakit conclusion? Methods pa lang eh. Okay, let's just, okay. So for the conclusion, the results and discussion should be the focus on this part. This is to sum up your findings and highlight significance of the outcomes of your study. And I know that's very understandable. And to outline any implication also or recommendation. That's why you should always say this result implies that the adlay is very acceptable, although it's new to the taste, but still can be accepted. and or i-recommend mo siya as indicated by the findings. Therefore, you recommend the use of adlay as an alternative to rice or a staple food o kaya naman as ano lang siya, as merienda, no, as snack or anything or alternative. And also for your results and discussion, you're going to present the findings of your research in an orderly manner. So ganun din as from the same with review literature, kailangan meron siyang subtitles, no? Naka-arrange siya properly and yung tables, yung graphs mo is numbered accordingly para pag-refer mo, table 8 figure 1 shows that the increase of income of farmers, no, as introduced with business techniques, for example, no, and using heading plant in your methodology or headings arising from patterns found in the research. So it could be based on your research proposal, o kaya it's just arise when you did the interview, no. And lastly, discussion show your understanding of what your data suggests. So, ano kaya ibig sabihin ng result na yan? So, does it mean na yung adlay, pag ibenta mo, is very, in demand? No? Does it mean like that? If the consumer, if it is acceptable by taste? No? So, you should be able to explain that. And for the references naman, you are going to list alphabetically all the reference materials that have been cited in the text and vice versa. You cannot list down the reference or the author that you did not mention inside your paper. So how do you do your referencing? So references need to contain all words cited in the text again, and references should consistently follow one recognizable system. So as just I have said, merong mga format. Just to mention, no, we have the APA format, the MLA format, but we will discuss that next meeting. So with regards to your appendices naman, this is to present relevant details, yung mga letters mo sa participants and organization that you have invited for your survey or for your research. And the questionnaires, what are the questions that you put in there or you ask, or the survey questions that you have included, and other relevant instruments that you have developed, no, for your study. And also present relevant documents such as yung mga reports or policies and historical documents that are very important na i-attach mo, but not necessarily you are going to include in your discussion or in the presentation. So yun lang muna for now. And for the next meeting, we're going to discuss where and how to begin, no? And that is to how to choose a research paper, and how to gather materials, how to make a preliminary outline, and note taking, quoting, citations, no? It's very important that you do parenthetical citation properly, and also how to quote an author, kasi iba-iba ang way. There are also other ways and patterns to do that, and what's just important is that it's uniform throughout the paper, kasi hindi pwedeng ganito ang pagka pagka cite mo, and then iba na naman the next thing, parang hindi ganun dapat yung paper. And also very important to know what is plagiarism, no? It's very important. So that's yun muna for now. And if you have question or clarification regarding yung main structure of a research paper, do you have any question or clarification? Yes, Deline or Jessa and Novi. Pangutana?
None so far, ma'am.
Okay, thank you very much. So, maybe if you just tell me if any one of you is ready for next meeting for a report. Siguro sila dyan, Ray. So, sorry for the rest of you kasi na-late ako. So, it's not your fault na hindi kayo naka-attend. But as I have told you, your attendance is not really a part of the the grade requirement, but in addition lang. And also, and because of this, dahil ako naman ang late, you still have additional points. So kung wala nang tanong, thank you very much, Novi, Jessa, and Deline for joining with me today. Medyo,
Thank you din po.
Thank you, and I will see you again on Wednesday. Hopefully, dili na ko ma-late. No? Okay, so
Thank you, ma'am.
thank you. That would be all. Salamat. Bye-bye.
Thank you.